It is May 5th, 2022, and I had posted earlier today on Facebook that today marks the 46th anniversary of my seeing Paul McCartney and Wings at Chicago Stadium. But in doing a little research on the internet, and my brain had the show in June, the show was actually June 2nd. All the dates on the Wings Over the World tour had to be postponed by a bit because guitarist Jimmy McCullough had broken his finger or something. And so everything was rescheduled. And so I'm talking to you on what I thought was the 42nd anniversary of the show, but it's actually going to be June 2nd. He did a few shows in Chicago, and it's pretty amazing stuff because, you know, I was going back and there are photos, but there's also, look at a young Gene Siskel doing a stand-up at Chicago Stadium. This is amazing.
The concert is almost over. A beautiful moment occurred just a few minutes ago during Paul McCartney singing yesterday. A single white rose was handed to him on the stage. He waved it at the crowd. The crowd applauded. It was a beautiful moment, a very sweet moment in a rock crowd, in a rock crowd scene that too often these days is just plain loud and ugly.
Well, Gene Siskel is gone. Jimmy McCullough is gone. Linda McCartney is gone. So much has changed since 1976, but with technology, we can go back and relive these great moments. There's a Blu-ray of this tour from 1976. This particular show is from Seattle, but, you know, I can close my eyes and I'm a 15-year-old at Chicago Stadium all over again. Check this out, if I can get it to play. No. Yes, yes, yes.
All right, how you feeling? Good?
Yeah! You too, right? Yeah, let me roll it. I won't roll it too much because you won't be able to hear me, but if my pause button will work. Okay, so now, what a show it was. I can remember, number one, going there with my friend Dirk Van Osdal, who was older than I was, so he could drive, which was great. We stopped at the Berghoff downtown and had beers, and I was 15 years old the night of this show. Shows you how the world has changed. And I probably didn't look 12, but I wasn't carded, and I had a couple of beers. We went to the show. I can remember standing in line, and I was I love the Beatles growing up, but I wasn't a huge fan. I'm much bigger today. But in line, I remember that somebody offered me, I think $50 or $100 for my ticket, and the face on it was, as you saw, a lot less than that. And I, you know, being a kid, I didn't have any money, and I'm sure I was momentarily lured in by the idea of that largesse, which, you know, $1976, that was a lot of money. But I went in, and I really, that show was life-changing for me because it was my first rock concert. I saw a Beatle. I wasn't that far away. You know, you look at Chicago Stadium now, and you thought it was cavernous when you were a kid, but it was. It had great sight lines, and everybody was pretty close to the stage. And I was off to the side, but I had a really good view of everything, and I wasn't very far from it. And the show touched me so much that I badgered my parents into buying me Wings Over America when the live album came out. I got this for Christmas one year. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for being so sweet. You can't beat vinyl. But then when CDs came along, I had to get this, which is the original Columbia edition. I also have the capital of Wings Over America, but that's a fun thing to have. And then recently found this, just one of the cassettes from this tour, but seeing Paul and the band that night in a live setting really got me going because I was singing in high school, but I didn't have any self-confidence. And as it turned out, it would have been less than a year later, I got the lead in The Music Man at Hinsdale Central High School. And the year after that, I became the lead in Brigadoon. I played Tommy at my high school. And I give Paul a lot of the credit for that because I don't know, there was something about that night that was so magical, and seeing him on stage and seeing how much joy he had in performing that really rubbed off on me. So it's 42 years later. The date is not quite correct, but in June of 1976, My life changed when I went to my first rock concert with Paul McCartney and Wings. And yes, this is my ticket stub that we're looking at right now. And even though the date is wrong, the moment was right. Anyway, rock on, folks. And yeah, there's something about music, you know? It guides us and carries us even in the tough days. So have a great day. Hey, and I forgot to show off my Wings Over America box set. Paul continues to cash in on something that happened many, many years ago. And God bless him.